Like, that's actually the topic today, like how to like petty people, bro.
But I thought you knew about that.
I didn't, but
No, it's
it's
crazy.
just like my you know it's funny because like we can talk about it if you want, but not like the whole envy stuff because I'm not trying to get riled up by these dudes. But in the way I look at it is like when Dame Dash went on like here's what pissed me off the most is you went on another man's talk show and set rules. Imagine someone coming on our talk show and setting rules like buddy. Like I understand there's certain things you don't want to speak about. That's fine. And again, and some people will say no. This is our talk show. Like I even remember an example when Christina Milian went on Ebro Hot 97, asked her about
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne, and her manager was like, "Don't tell me what to do on my talk show." But see, in my head, I'm like, "You're not gonna come here and say, don't interrupt me." Sometimes interruptions happen naturally because you say something. Like, ironically, this guy's saying, "Don't interrupt me," but he's still interrupting Envy and Charlemagne.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, remember what happened to Tyler?
With
Charlemagne.
Charlemagne, yeah.
So it's just like every show she went on, her managers, whoever runs her team, had like pages of paper of all of these questions she could have asked. So that's why her interviews, everyone's like, "What the hell? Who is this girl?"
It's curated.
Insecure, right? She couldn't, like, you couldn't ask her any question. Charlemagne is Charlemagne.
He's gonna ask, bro.
He literally,
It could be Drake. He's gonna ask.
I don't know. Charlemagne said that he took the. He said he took the paper and ignored it. I don't know if he said he threw it in the garbage. You know, Charlemagne always says something funny, right?
Yeah.
But he's like, when the team gave me the piece of paper, I ignored it because like.
But I get.
So it's just like, you know what you're getting yourself into if you're gonna go on a show like Charlemagne. Like, he's not.
From a journalist perspective, I get it because the thing is for me is like if. Well, we kind of spoke about it with with Nathan the other
Because
day.
you can't sue because he went on his show.
You can't, but I'm saying is even when we were like at Wings last week
Even though Dame Dash is threatening.
to sue.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he can't because here's my thing.
Because Revolt came out and said that he's not the chairman.
Oh no! Because what made me laugh is like you're a CEO, you're this. He's like chairman, and then he's like this like oh apparently you're worth 100 million, 50 million. That's not true. I was never worth that. I'm like, buddy. The thing is too is like these petty people. Of course, we have petty people in our lives as well. But I'm like, brother, if you know like you have a lot of baggage, and Dame Dash has been in the industry for like a minute.
Forever.
It's not like he's been there for 10 years, 15. He's been there for a while.
Forever, yeah.
So it's like at this point, I kind of saw like Charlemagne like provoking him. We could see even Envy provoke, and they were laughing.
Oh, yeah, they're laughing.
They're laughing.
Because what he was planning to do became a joke on him. And
Yeah.
he didn't realize in real time.
No, he didn't.
Because as I'm watching it, I'm like, you do realize they're laughing at you. Like, everyone's laughing at you. Like, you're the butt of the joke, and
But
you're not. That's the scary part. That's the scary part about fame. Is when you lose
Credibility.
when you lose touch with reality.
100%. Because, like, even for example,
It's like, bro, they're laughing at you. Like, you don't, and then he's still going. It's like, because at this point, like, if you're an outsider, you'd be like, okay, wait, hold on. These guys were laughing at me. Why are you guys laughing at me? I'm not gonna continue on my rant or whatever I'm talking about. Like, let me think. Obviously, if you're just like a normal person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he hasn't been told no. Like, when you have such a lifestyle for 20, 30 years, and people can't really tell you anything, because
a lot of
but remember, things don't. Society changes and everything, right?
A lot of his
what was
points-
popular yesterday
yeah.
is irrelevant today, so no one cares.
also, I think it's like even on a micro scale for us, like as friends, like you obviously have those friends who try to provoke you,
Yeah.
and it ends up. And we could talk about that like later in the episode. But I think with that specific episode, like he was saying a lot of childish things. One of the things he said, "I don't hang around men. Men betray. You just got betrayed." And Charlemagne's like, "Bro, you came in with a man. What does that even mean?" And then it's like, in my head, it's like, if you're gonna come to a debate, my thing is too is like, of course, like when you speak to people who are good at their job, like Mahdi Hassan or like Charlemagne again, like love him or hate him, he's a good journalist.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to pop culture and like
Yeah.
music, like again, I disagree with a lot of his opinions regarding music, but at the end of the day, he's good at his job.
He's good at his job.
Like he knows how. Like the reason why, going back to earlier point, we were talking. Not to the. I think the title. I think will probably be off camera, but like the whole title thing. Yeah, he threw the stuff away because if you're coming on my talk show,
Exactly.
you tell me in advance the person, hey, please don't ask about this for these reasons. It's ongoing investigation, but I don't want to answer. Like how many, like for example, as friends, as brothers, like if I ask you something, you've told me in the past, so I don't want to answer that.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't have to give me a sheet. Oh, today here's what we're gonna speaking about. Dame Dash, it's like to your point earlier. He came in with a motive, and it worked against him. And it's so funny too because, like, I would rather, it was a real moment. He kept getting up, he kept getting irritated.
The amount of times he got up and sat down was like, bro. He's like, I'm gonna leave. Like, he kept going up and sitting down. They have amazing mics because they picked up him talking.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
he left, their mics are incredible.
Actually, I still haven't finished. I still have 40 minutes, 30 minutes left.
Oh, really?
30 minutes left.
The interview is golden.
No, but the thing is, even watching, almost close to an hour of the whole episode, like 15 minutes of the episode. I'm like, brother, like, here's my thing. Like, the only point I kind of agreed with him is when he said why he doesn't criticize JC, but then he ruined it because he said either you're like, again, you can watch the clip. I'm not gonna clip it because again, if you watch it, but you ruined it. You could have said you could have said it in a more professional way, but you said it in a way which worked against you. In my opinion, at least it did. But at the end of the day, it's like he's like, you're interrupting me.
And the thing I don't understand, it's like you belittle every single person.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if you're not a boss, you're pretty much a slave. Like you're belittling. Like can you imagine, like this whole like no one said it's wrong being an entrepreneur. No one's saying it's wrong
To not go to school.
to not go to school and all these things like self-made. Like all these things we talked. We have hundreds of episodes on these things.
Of course.
It's literally in our bio, like education on this crap. But the thing is, when you say like, hey, if you worked at a place 5, 10, 15, 20 years and you're living in a coffin, like nothing's changed. I get it, he was trying to piss them off, but when he keeps saying it over and over again, it's like, bro, do you realize teachers are listening to this? Do you realize people who are like janitors are listening to this? Do you realize people who are like truck drivers? Like these people, 15, 20 years jobs, like, so that means...
But he was also disrespectful. Like, how are you gonna come and tell, for like, this guy goes on their podcast. Here's my thing. I hate it when people belittle you or make you sound stupid. Again, like in my opinion.
Oh yeah, when he kept saying, calling Charlamagne dumb.
Or he kept saying you guys know nothing about business. Okay, if you ask someone who has a social media brand like me and you, right, our business model, versus someone who has an engineering firm, they're two different businesses. They're run differently.
Okay.
So by you saying, for example, you know nothing about business, how do you know? They probably have not, like, again, and how are you gonna come disrespecting me on my show? Like, brother, if I was Envy or if I was Charlamagne, I swear to you, I would have just ended the pod right there. And the thing is, too, is you're lucky.
Exactly.
They didn't, like, jump you. They also have their security guards there. My thing is, you want to check me? Check me. Like, you know the way Nelly checked Charlamagne and Charlamagne spoke about it? And he did it in a way, he's like, yo, we don't play that, whatever he said. Like, we don't play these games, whatever he said. Yeah. Something along those lines. But the way Dame, you just showed, first of all, you're a 50-year-old man, and you showed your 14-year-old skills, like
high school.
Comparing houses. Oh, does your house have a view? Like this is how you know. But this is how you know you don't know how to debate. Because I'm watching it, and my thing is too is like, if someone in their 20s went up to you and said, "Oh, bro, I'm tall," like, or for example, like, you know, our friend's brother always goes to me to the mosque and says, "Oh man, I'm taller than you." Yeah. Now height for these younger kids is this thing. Oh, height, because girls have gave it this magnitude. Oh, you have to be 6 feet or you have to be whatever. But you're a 50-year-old man, you're talking about a bigger house. It's not even in a song. It's not like you're trying to diss them. Like, you're saying it in a proper professional interview, and you could have used this time in an interview to like talk about your wins, your whatever.
Educate. That's what you said you want to do, but...
And he said that in the beginning. I want to educate. Listen, you came, you set the rules, and then you made yourself look like a fool.
Yeah.
Midway through.
When you don't realize that you're the butt of the joke. Like, you really... Like, what your character...
Yeah.
Is not...
It's so crazy.
It's not pleasing.
It's so crazy you said that,
like, it's cringy.
100%.
And this guy kept... You still haven't finished it. At this point, everyone already realized, like, bro, like, this is enough.
Yeah.
And he doesn't realize it. Like, you look crazy.
It's so interesting you say that, but he doesn't realize it. I'm almost finishing up the book Atomic Habits. I'm almost there. But in chapter 4, the book, have you read it?
Atomic Habits, yeah, it came out 2018, 17.
It came a while ago, but like, I'm just like studying it now. It's actually it's one of those books where like you can learn a lot of like valuable psychological lessons. But one of the books, the part in chapter 4 says, until your unconscious becomes conscious, you'll start changing certain habits. And I think for him, I don't think he was conscious of what he was doing. No. I genuinely don't believe he knows what he was doing. Like, you're going, and for example, like the whole interrupting thing pisses me off because in my head I'm like, I can be saying something, but you're not interrupting me to be disrespectful. Of course. You're trying to like, okay, maybe counter argue about what I say in that moment. And he's like, oh, I lost my thought. I'm like, brother, are you a 5-year-old? Coming from like both of us, you can call us journalists, podcasters, talk show hosts, whatever it might be, whatever term they want to give us. But it taught me, I'm like, if I ever had a guest like that, I'm just gonna end it.
Just end it, yeah. Because he said it himself, I'm gonna leave. But you kept coming back. It's like 20, even because you're not even done. You probably did like 100 more times too. So it's just like,
but in the 40 minutes that however much I've watched, in the 45 minutes that I've watched.
And the crazy thing is, this might as well just be the episode.
Probably.
At this point, I might as well just raise up my voice. The thing is, we didn't actually know what he was there for.
No.
Like, we have no idea what he's there for. Like, we didn't learn anything from the interview.
But you know what's so funny? Is we learned something.
So, yeah, we learned
Hold
something,
on,
but
hold on.
his objective.
Yeah, but hold on. The man comes in bearing gifts.
Yeah.
Like, imagine, I swear, guys, if you watch it, like, my thing is, there's probably a lot of lessons we'll talk about them, like, from our personal lives.
Yeah, yeah.
But he comes with gifts, and then he says, here's it for your kids, and then he gives them, like, a vinyl of his album, I think it was.
Yeah, vinyl the album, books for
Book for his
books.
kids. I guess his daughter, because his daughter wrote a book. And for, like, if you guys are still listening, we're talking about Dame Dash. But my thing is, in that moment, you're so, in my opinion, like, I don't know you personally, and I don't care to ever know you personally, but so fake. How can you come to my talk show, give me a gift, and disrespect me on my own talk show? If you have an issue, say, hey, like, for example, you could say, yo, that question, I'm not going to answer it.
Yeah.
Or you're 55 years old, however old he is. This guy's old. Like and then why are you dissing yourself on the pot? Yeah, I am broke. I never mentioned that I'm rich. Like, he's talking.
It's because of the money that he owes in taxes.
That's great. When you see, for example, 50 gives good interviews. And 50, the thing is, he was like, you can't get to him.
No.
Like, you can't get to him, right? Like, he'll ignore you.
He doesn't care. Yeah, with this interview, it's such a headache. I wasn't in the room. We've done legit 170 episodes.
Yeah, close to now.
Like, a legit 170 episodes. Out of, let's say, for example, we've had 60 guests. Everyone's been respectful.
100%, yeah.
Because we give respect. So it's like what you give, you get that energy in return. And this is a life lesson you learn as a kid. And obviously you try to utilize day to day and stuff. Dame Dash, maybe how he grew up. Clearly it's a Harlem thing because everything's referenced to Harlem.
Yeah.
But yes, he's successful, CEO of Rockefeller, 1/3 and everything. And obviously that changed. They eventually sold the group, company, Rockefeller, Rockaware, and all these different things. At this point in your life, people knew what you did in the past, but what you're currently doing, people not might respect it. And obviously everyone's gonna look towards Jay-Z instead of you and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That can make you bitter, that can make you upset because he did so much and no one really knows how much he did to make Jay-Z, to make Kanye, to make like all these different artists, yeah. Because he was involved in it, right? So for him, it's just like, hey, you guys are giving everyone else the credit but me. Like, I'm legit the reason why this thing became where it was.
But it's a similar thing to, like, Facebook, too.
So it's just like, I get it. At the end of the day, you could try to explain, you could try to justify. The respect is reciprocated. You cannot go into a place demanding, asking for respect, setting the boundaries, but yet in return, you do not give that whatsoever. It's contradictory.
But it also works against him because if you look at Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg kind of did a similar thing to his, like, business partners. The thing is, he was trying too hard for people to believe him. And I think that works against you. How many times do people not believe me and you? People, like, when we say advice, like, hey, we spoke to these people, and, oh, no, you're hindering their image. No, like, we're telling you advice that they told us, but people don't believe us.
Of course.
Again, like, at the end of the day, we're on camera, people who are watching across the world could probably think we're, like, BSing, but again, that's their prerogative. But specifically Dame Dash, just like, with all the experience you had, you could have came, and people who, like, I guess, so-called look up to you, liked you, you know, always respected you, whatever the case is. Like you're not, I'm going to watch that interview because of who you are. But ironically enough, we spoke about crashing out the last episode. You crashed out. Like, you went in and you probably ruined people's opinions of you.
Of course.
It's crazy. Like, for you, for example, to say things about another older man like Jay-Z, like, okay, listen, there's a way of addressing certain people. And if you don't want to talk about them, say, hey, like, for example, I don't want to talk about this guy or this next question, which kind of brings me up to my next point when LeBron was asked about Drake. And to me, that was the fakest thing ever. I'm like, come on, just at this point, I'm not sure if his plan was to, like, get some clickbait. You made yourself look like a fool, like, in front of your family. You made yourself look like a fool in front of your audience. And I don't think the Breakfast Club will ever invite you back again, or all the talk shows will never invite you.
Yeah, the thing is, it's just like, I don't know what his objective was. He said in the interview about the whole Godfather analogy, trying to set everyone up and stuff. Pretty much looping them in for the kill. He didn't come across that. And that's the whole thing. For me, it's just going back. There's nothing worse than realizing when you lost touch with reality. That's the thing about fame. It becomes the point where you work so hard to get something, you do it, and then you get all the freedom accessibilities. Cars, places, venues, hotels, planes, women, food, all these different things. Like, it's such a high. It's such a sense of, you know, euphoria. But when you suddenly lose it, imagine going from that back to reality. That's why most people just crash out, whether it's drugs, abuse, alcohol, all these different things, suicide, because that's not normal. That's not a normal lifestyle in the first place. So to go from a regular lifestyle to getting everything you want, to literally live like a king, for 3 to 5 years, and then to fall off, and now you're back to reality. It's like, bro, now I'm like I'm back in my parents' house. And I'm like, I can afford to go first class and all these different things. And going to a local game, like you just get backstage, exit, entrance, and stuff like that. Like, imagine it's like, yo, like we're big in Toronto and stuff. Going to the Raptors game, secret entrance for VIP and all that stuff and everything. You're used to that for 2 to 3 years, and then boom,
then it goes
we
away.
fall off.
Yeah.
And now it's like, bro, like I gotta pay like 3 bills to go to sit in the
go to the same thing I was
first
saying.
bowl. Like, what the heck? Like, your mind, when you become. I'm not gonna reference the person, but the person. One of the things that happened with the interview that we had a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things, right? It's hard to accept that.
100%.
It's hard to accept
because you
that.
have everything given to you, and it's
Everything
all
given
gone.
to you.
But even to add on to your point, because I feel like when you think of people who are timeless, who are still able to find their way in every era, is at this point it's like few to none. Like Drake is obviously one of them. Is obviously other people who are still at 50, Eminem, who still found ways to be relevant.
Of course.
Today's
Which is not normal.
Which is not normal. Even Jay-Z and
That's few people. Very
his-
few.
Dr. Dre, they found different ways to still stay, maybe different, like not in the same industry they started in, but they find different avenues where they're able to go and be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna be here and still have my name. But I think with people like Dame Dash, because you said out of reality, and I find this a lot, even with that interview that you just mentioned, a lot of people, even people in general, when you lose touch with reality, it's scary. Because you feel as if you're owed a favor. And he came in thinking we're still in the 90s. You are trying way too hard to be someone you once were. Now you have a different role. It kind of goes back to the conversation me and you had about the Raptors when there was conversations of Vince Carter coming back to Toronto. And I remember like, I don't think that should happen. I remember you said to me, it's like, he's not coming back as a role player. He's coming back as a veteran, like someone who's able to give back.
Yeah.
Like, you're able to give these young guys like business opportunity. Don't talk to me as if I'm a dummy. Like, don't do that. Because I may not know everything about business, but I may know some stuff. But not because you disrespected me. Why do I want to learn from you?
Of course. You can only imagine doing an interview with someone, and they're successful. Let's say, I don't know, tech industry. They made like $200 million. You're asking me business questions related to that industry, which I have no idea of.
Yeah.
On camera in real time. I'm successful in what I do.
Yeah.
5, 10 plus years. And the person's like belittling me, saying like,
I'll be so
I'm
cheesed.
stupid and I'm dumb. Like, that's not even like, cut the cameras, bro. Like, what is going on, bro? Like, this is ridiculous. So you got to give them a lot of credit for being professional, because a lot of people are not able to handle that in real time,
Yeah,
right? Like,
because even that interview you just mentioned.
and then using the girl is like, oh, what do you think? You co-sign everything
Yeah,
he says?
and then she's like, no. I'm like, brother, my thing is, imagine like someone does that to like, I don't know, if you have a third guest host and they go to the guest host, and they say, oh, do you co-sign Osama and Muhammad? No, they're being, if the co-host said disrespectful, I don't even care if it's a joke. Get out. Because in my head, I'm like, we're paying you to be here.
Of course.
On our talk show. And that girl, she's like laughing. She's like shaking her head. And I get what she's doing, because also it's like...
It's a tough position to be in.
And I get it, but I look at it from a different point of view. It's like, don't use other team members. You're a grown man. You don't need another woman to defend you. Ironically, he's like, oh, you hide behind your woman. Well, what did you do a couple minutes ago? Like, asking, I forget her name, the one that replaced Angela Yee, and asking her to like, oh, are they being disrespectful? You're doing a lot of these antics that you're doing are no longer perfect. Like, they're not entertainment.
It's not entertaining.
Like, if someone like Tekashi 6ix9ine did that, you'd get it, because that's his character. Like, he's someone who trolls. He's someone who again, you're someone who's a former CEO of a company. You worked with legends in the business. This is not the same person that we just saw like in the 90s. And I honestly think if people, you can take a lot from that interview. One, if you have that friend who's disrespecting you, or anybody, like, bro, to your point, if someone comes in and disrespects me, it's game over. Because that interview that we had, that you said, what I wanted to say earlier, that interview that we had, we kind of, we always talk about it as, it's not our favorite interview, because, like, if you hear it, if the people who are, again, they probably don't know what we're talking about, but when we listen to that specific interview we're talking about, it sounds like an amazing interview.
Of course.
Amazing interview.
Of course.
But in reality, what we saw, right, we're like, hey. And again, we've had interviews that we didn't like, but that specific one, in my mind, I'm like, oof. I think, because I listened to the other interviews they've done and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, oof.
Every person that we've interviewed on the show, it's like, just like any other show, you're going to build rapport,
100%.
talk 2, 5, 10 minutes before you go on air.
Yeah.
And that's what they said they did in the beginning. Like, we had a conversation. I saw a lot of kudos to DJ Envy, because in the very first interview from like 8 years ago, he snapped. Him and Dame were going back and forth.
Yeah.
So I was expecting that this time, right? But Envy kept saying like, hey, Dame, remember we had a talk, like a man-to-man talk, before we went on air and stuff, right? So I don't know why you're trying to do this now. As
But I
far
didn't
as
even
front of
catch
the
that part. Is
camera.
that in the end?
No, in the beginning.
I didn't even catch that part.
Because Envy was saying, like, we had a conversation, him, Charlemagne, and Dame Dash, before we went on air.
Yeah.
As far as the boundaries to make sure, like, we're not going to go left.
Yeah, yeah.
So he kind of mentioned, like, a few times and everything, right? And the same thing for us. Like, obviously, we're going to interview a person. Yes, you have an idea that you want to talk about and topics. But before we talk about, the question we always ask, is there anything you do not want
And
us to discuss?
we don't have to ask this question, by the way.
No, we don't.
We don't have to ask. We do it just because we want to be respectful and want you to come back.
Because the last thing you want to do, because we've had multiple interviews, it's just like when we talked about something and we went into that like that point, you kind of see a reaction in the guest, but they're okay with it
Yeah.
because how we conduct ourselves,
Yeah.
asking questions and everything.
And the thing is, every guest has hours.
Like they feel safe and trusted. So let's say, for example, like we talked about something, whatever, and we might have asked someone about a personal experience related to like family, getting married, a job, like some type of sacrifice. Any other podcast, they're not going to answer that question. But because we had that rapport before,
Yeah, they'll
and
answer
during
it.
the interview, we literally make sure they feel safe.
And-
when we go into that small part that they weren't expecting, they don't mind because they know we're not gonna go further or try to make them look stupid.
Yeah, but even to your point, we've taken up parts when people have asked us.
Exactly, that's
We've
it.
taken out parts. Just said,
That's
hey,
it.
I said this. Can you please take it out? And we have.
Which we don't have to because
We don't have to. That's
our
our
podcast is clean. We're not
our
like
podcast is
filthy
clean.
or anything. But out of respect, of course.
No, of course, because in my head, because the thing is too is anybody like for example, the parts that have been taken out could have got us views because of
course.
how like I want to say not even impactful, like how in the heat of the moment,
course.
what you said, people could relate to it. But again, people think when you're in the moment, you're saying so many things which could be amazing. But then when reality comes in, I said this, I need this off right now because like I may not agree with it. And I remember to go back to why we ask people questions, and I remember we started doing it as soon as we started doing video.
Yeah.
Because I remember me and Mohammed were like, listen, we both agreed we should ask. We want them to come back. But if someone says, I don't want to talk about it, we're like, no worries, we'll take that part out.
Of course.
Move on. But one specific, I remember when we were talking with Sal Houdini. I'm not going to mention why there's something I actually did want to ask him. I'm not going to mention it just for his sake. And I remember it had to do with something else. And
Yeah.
I remember we asked him, hey, is there anything you don't want to talk about? Even though he said no. But I had the question that we wanted to ask him, which probably would have allowed us to go viral from that moment, or maybe also hated by a certain individual.
Yeah.
We're like, you know what, let's just not ask. But again, like, so people don't understand us. Like, we're not asking these viral moments because we care more about the guests coming back and them being respected and safe. Because again, we don't have to listen to no one's orders.
And that actually worked in our favor.
It did, yeah.
Because as it spreads about the type of podcast you are, host individuals, and what we
can
do
say
as a
positive
collective, they know that, hey, it's a good vibe, amazing conversation, and they make sure you're secured and comfortable. You don't feel as if there's like a rabbit, jack in the box kind of moments. Like we're not gossipy. We're not trying to throw curveballs. Only curveballs is just amazing questions, but nothing that's gonna
that's gonna derail you.
Nothing that's gonna make you look stupid, ridiculous, expose you. Like we want to be the last reason why you don't get any sleep at night. Like we want to be the last reason.
Absolutely
Like,
not.
why would we want to add on to that? So when someone asks us like, hey, this small conversation, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, why do we want you to have that fear, like day to day, like in 1 week, this thing's gonna drop, my family, my publicist, whoever's gonna see, my audience, why would we add that? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
So
It doesn't make any sense. But I also feel like a lot of people care more about the moment. Like, for example, if you see these TikTokers, I know you're on TikTok, but you're not really on it, TikTok, but when you see these like younger like streamers, and I get it, their whole moment is to get this viral moment. I just know, I look at it in my way, like I would not want myself to be in that moment, like if it was done to me, so I'm not gonna do it to someone else.
Of course. It's the last thing you want.
Earlier we were talking, I think early off camera, because this won't be on camera, we were talking off camera about how times have changed in terms of internet and technology. And for people who are younger than us, who were born in the mid 2000s and onwards, because if you're not, like, because we grew up in the early 2000s, so I remember times where you have to go and search, we were just talking about it, go on NBA.com and be like, or NHL on like CBS trash screen that barely shows 240p, even before like 140p, which barely shows anything. And now it's like it's all accessible to you on TikTok. If you ever dared as a guest come to our talk show and start finding rules, no, because I would never do that to you. If there's questions you don't want us to ask, by all means you can say, hey, I think everybody's it's their own prerogative. Some people are not going to accept it. Charlemagne clearly with Tyler, whatever her name is, just like bun that. I'm not doing that. But with me and Muhammad over here, yeah, we'll accept it because we just know earlier to your point where we want people to come back, and because of that concept, we've had referrals.
Referrals.
So many people have said, "Oh, we've heard about you. Can we come on?"
Yeah.
Zara,
Referrals.
Nusrat. Many people have come back and said, have said, we have so and so would love to come on your talk show. Do you mind inviting them? Our friends have referred us to other people, and through our conversations, and certain followers have followed us as well.
Even for example, the day that we interviewed James and
James,
Zara, we interviewed James. In between those like 15 to 20 minutes, because we're preparing for her to interview his wife, and I was like, I told Osama, I'm like, yo, that was an incredible interview we just did with James.
Yeah, incredible.
Unexpected and everything, right? People go listen to both of their episodes. Incredible interview. So now that we're gonna, and it's like
late at night, by the way.
yeah, it's once every few, like, I don't know, every 20, 30 episodes, we'll try something new, whatever, right? So I told Osama, like, I have an idea, but let me see what you think about it, right? So I was like, okay, because we did like a cool format of questions with James, just on the spot. It literally came out of nowhere. I'm like, why don't we do the exact same thing for Zara? But it's gonna be related to like how she met James, what she thought about him, all those things and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Which is very personal. Obviously, a lot of people are not gonna answer those questions and stuff, right? But if we could do the game format for her, like, I think that would be dope. Like, I remember asking Osama, like, I think that would be dope. But we understand she's going to be from work. She's going to be super tired. And this game and high-level questions, it's going to be a lot. You're going to look kind of weird on camera, right? So I asked him, like, do you think we should do this, right? He's like, I think it's dope and everything. We should ask her.
Yeah.
So when we first had her on, pre-conversation, just interviewed her husband. Mashallah was amazing and everything. Before we start the episode, any questions you want to answer? And then I told her, I'm like, hey, we just interviewed her husband. We did these like lines of questions. Amazing. We want to do the same thing for you, but kind of pretending how you met him. All these. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Is it okay? Because if so, then alhamdulillah. But if not, why would we even bother and start the interview? Hey, house, like, welcome everyone. We have this guest. Boom. Ask those. Like, we literally had a conversation rapport, 2 minutes. Like, I don't want to answer those questions,
And
right?
she was about to come back, actually. Fun fact.
But she agreed, right? So it's like, it's just simple like that, right? Stuff like that, you let people know, like, hey, this is something pertaining to you and your husband or you and your wife.
It's personal.
Personal. You don't have to share with us, obviously.
Yeah.
And our audience. But do you feel safe? Yes or no?
Because like you're talking about personal, the audience, even other people still don't know personal stuff that we haven't shared from. Because people think we started in 2020, amazing and cute, but we've been doing it for the almost past 8 years next year. Long time. So it's like, imagine the amount of information we've learned. So going back full circle, Dame Dash was like, oh, you know nothing about podcasting? Brother, I'm going to say, get me a WWE ring and get me Stone Cold Steve Austin as my tag team partner. And we're fighting, bro. Because in my head, I'm like, two things I don't like. Don't belittle people. And don't make people sound dumb. Because a lot of our teachers would do it to us.
Of course.
In the mid-2000s. For example, like there's multiple ways of learning. There's multiple ways of understanding. One way of business is going to be different than another way of business. Because business models, there's not one business model that works.
Of course.
Multiple business models that work. And pertaining to the industry you're in, it might work, it might not work.
And the thing is, it's one thing if you don't agree with that business model or industry, but that's the thing. I think that's the thing about him losing touch of reality. Him probably saying like, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. You work in this job 10, 15 years. You're useless. That might work to somebody in Idaho or Kansas on a random radio station. To go to the Breakfast Club and tell DJ Envy and Charlemagne that they've been working in a coffin for the past 15 years, which is like the #1 urban radio station in the past. Like, it changed everything. Like, do you know how crazy that sounds? Like, going into the Breakfast Club and being like, hey, you've been working in this coffin. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not successful at all. You missed on everything. You guys, like, it's the Breakfast Club. Like, what are we talking
And they've been, for the past 11, 12 years, they've been on a roll with their guests, their interviews, their line of questioning. And again, like, people have, like, you know,
So it's like, you know, like, this thing is like, bro, you know what you're saying? You're not saying this some random show. You're saying this in the Breakfast Club. Like,
He's saying things to saying things. Remember how me you were talking about last episode? I think I'm not sure if it was 167 or 168, but either or. I made the point about people differentiating their music by the person. Like, so I think with Dame, like, or just people in general, if you don't like someone, you can still differentiate between, in this specific case, not because they have anything, like any file, but like just because I dislike you, does not mean it discredits your hard work.
Yeah.
Like, I may not like you, but I respect everything he has to do for our culture because it gave me an opportunity. Like that's my thing. Is like, okay, I mean that like you as a person.
Clearly, that showed. It's
It
evidence.
showed.
Oh,
You
yeah.
kept calling the man names and
Yeah.
like making fun of Envy, saying I have a bigger
course.
house than you, whatever, bro. Like, if someone told me I have a faster car than you, congratulations. Like, I'm not gonna care. If I was 15, I would probably like.
Of course,
I would have
yeah.
responded. I'm like, I'm 30. I'm not gonna care. But my thing is like, okay, cool. Like, Charlemagne has said a lot of opinions which I disagree with. But if I ever were to be invited on a Breakfast Club,
There's no diss, but like when he said the car thing, I thought of the person who used to do that in high school was Carmen Gill.
Yeah.
Obviously
Yeah,
now it doesn't matter. But remember Carmen Gill?
guy's-
People like, oh, your car's trash. Look
Yeah.
at my car and stuff. Let's race right now and stuff, right, bro?
And
I
again,
don't
like-
care that your car is like modded
Yeah.
and everything.
He
Shout out
was-
to Carmen though. But that was high school, obviously.
No, but you're talking about high school. Yeah, shout out to Carmen. He's a cool guy. But
Yeah.
at the time, he would do that. And
He would
you're
do
like,
that,
okay,
yeah.
bro, okay, cool. Like, the thing is, like, you know the saying,
It'd just be him and his car because nobody wanted to talk to him.
no, him in his car, and he had like some old, like, classic BMW,
Yeah.
some beater BMW.
Bro, it's just you and your car. You realize like nobody wants to hang with you because just seeing your car.
Because it's just a car. Like, and that's my goal, is like, what, you actually sparked an idea, or a
Yeah.
thought, sorry. When you know no one likes or respects you, and I'll go back to my earlier point regarding what I was going to say earlier. When no one likes or respects you, you have to use external things that you have,
Of course.
these materialistic items, to make you sound likable,
Of course.
more approachable. This is me. You chill with me. You have access to this. Like, brother, if someone's only, and we said this a long time ago. One time we spoke about, would you rather have people come to your wedding or come to your funeral? It's an old episode for the OGs if you remember this. And similarly, I don't need you to be my friend if you're only coming for the things that I have. Because we know those people. They're only around you. And it's not, we could have them now. We don't
course.
know people who, just because they know this is going to blow up one day, that, oh, let's see how long we can ride this. Pause. But to go back to my earlier point, Charlemagne, okay, a lot of people don't like him. Dame Dash, you do not like him. But you can't take away from what he's like. He's an amazing journalist regarding the pop culture. He gives great interviews. And, okay, you disagree with his opinions. A lot of people
And
do.
you know what you're going in for too.
Exactly. And he does his research.
Yeah, exactly.
He, like, similarly, for example, Mahdi Hassan, who's well articulate, does his research. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of people
course.
do. But when you're going to talk to people like that, yeah, you better have your facts straight because they're
have
going to
to.
fact check you. And Charlemagne fact checked him a lot. He fact checked him. He's like, no, because right now we're just having casual conversation. And the topic today was supposed to be something different, but unfortunately we weren't able to do a lot of research because we don't have a team.
Yeah.
And research takes a long time. But when you're researching something, you can't say certain things because you feel subjective towards a person.
Of course.
Makes no sense. Like, this is not, you're not 20 years old where you could just say that person's trash.
Yeah.
Okay, if you don't like something, tell me why you don't like it. You were just saying why I don't like it.
Of course.
And then changing the topic.
Yeah.
Which to me it seems so childish. And I don't, if I was a Breakfast Club man, and again, if Dame Dash, you're hearing this from actually, for some odd reason, respectfully, because so Nathan was asking us, because on our group chat we were talking about it.
I remember, yeah.
He was asking, he's like, Joe, would you interview Dave Dash? I'm like, I'll just be roasting him. Respectfully, because it's like, you no longer are viewed as a legend. There's no way people can respect you. There's no way. Imagine, for example, someone who, I'm gonna say idolizes, someone like who you like growing up goes and does the same thing. You'll probably stop listening to him. This is the Breakfast Club. You could have came and, gave the best interview. In fact, you just left and you made a fool out of yourself. And I think people do this all the time because they're in the spur of the moment. They want to get their own way. And the old saying that you both hated, two wrongs don't make a right. Okay, if they're provoking you, if that's what you felt, why are you provoking them back? Vice versa goes for them.
Yeah, because from the first interview that they did 8 years ago, the whole argument was, what is a boss? A boss versus a real job. And that was Envy and Dame Dash going back and forth. Dame Dash is like, unless you put up your own money 100%, you're not a boss.
That's crazy.
Like, if you have to only put up 30%, 50%, and you're relying on corporate, whatever kind of investors, you're not a boss. So they're going back and forth about that, right? And obviously, since then, Envy and Charlemagne has done a lot of things, individual-wise, in terms of businesses and stuff, right? Charlemagne Block Effect, even with his own businesses. He has it's like a popular franchise in the U.S. I forgot what type of burger chain it is, but he's opened 20 to 30.
Envy or Charlemagne?
Charlemagne.
Charlemagne.
And Envy with his car shows and obviously the real estate and everything. So it's like they've done a lot of things since then in those past 8 years. That's the one thing I kind of wished for this conversation was to be like, okay, that whole conversation about a boss versus a real job, let's talk about everything we've done since then and see where it lines up in your idea of what a boss is. Obviously, we didn't get there at all.
He didn't.
It was Commissioner saying that all over again, like, as the boss versus the job thing.
But that's the thing. He's so.
And he doubled down and he's like, bro, like now.
He's calling them slaves in the sense of like slaves to the industry.
It's like, bro, I was insulted. It's like, man, like, so do you mean to tell me I should give up my job,
Dreams, your job.
my job. So, which includes by me having this job and this means of income, I'm able to take care of myself,
Your
from my
family.
family, external, and all that stuff. But to be a boss, an entrepreneur, I should suddenly just drop it and become an entrepreneur. And if that doesn't work, I resort to crime, drug dealing, all these things. Like even one part, that's what makes Charlemagne like so smart and clever in real time. When him and Charlemagne going back and forth, and he's like, "Oh, you don't know about selling drugs." And
Oh yeah.
and
Oh.
Charlemagne's like, "I sold drugs." He's like, "What did you sell?"
girl.
It's like I sold like a nickel bag, which is like very
Yeah, it's
small.
very small.
He saw Charlemagne's like I only did like once or twice, and then Dame Dash looked back at his friend, started laughing. Oh, he only sold a nickel bag. He's such like a loser and stuff. And then Charlemagne's like, why would I? What's so celebratory about selling drugs? Being a drug
Exactly.
dealer, right? Like he looks crazy, bro.
I
Like,
forgot about that part. He was celebrating like selling them. Come on.
he's like, you only sold nickel bags? Like, what a loser! Like, what a chump! And so it's like, Charlemagne's like, bro, what's so celebratory about selling drugs? That's
But it's insane because we have those people in our lives.
of course. And it's just like, man, you don't Dame doesn't realize you look crazy, bro. Like you look.
You know what makes no sense because like to me, with all the experience that you have, right? You should know that everyone respectively has their own experience.
Of course.
So if someone, for example, and I don't condone selling drugs, obviously, but I'm saying in that moment when they were talking about that, first of all, okay, some people have to do it for whatever reason, and some people, like for example, let's talk on a micro scale.
Yeah.
If someone's working at a restaurant, that's their first job, and the other person's first job is retail, like working at a Sport Check or just I don't know, a shoe store.
Yeah.
Does that mean that because the busboy has the right to tell that guy, "Oh, you have it better"? No,
Yeah.
you don't. Like you both lived in hard moments. There's no point of comparing. Oh, my life was harder. My life was harder. Your life was harder, respective to where you were.
Dame Dash did say that. Like we both come from different trauma, but he didn't respect that or expand on that. Like you saw the part when him and Charlotte, he like mocked Charlemagne about running from getting jumped.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, you're not a man because you ran from 4 guys," and Charlemagne's like, "It was 4 guys. I'm not gonna get jumped." He's like, "You're not a man because a real man is gonna stay there."
He's like, I would take the beating.
He's like, "I'll take the beating. I got jumped by 30 guys once, but guess what? I was fighting them until I got jumped."
Pronouns cap.
Apples and oranges. I'm not gonna be the person to determine what a real man is in the heat of the moment. Number one, you don't want to be in a situation where obviously you're about to get jumped by some people.
No.
Because clearly you're not in the right scenario or environment. So I'm not celebrating anything about, oh, like I almost got jumped. It's like, bro, what were you doing? Or who were you with? And what place were you at that you actually got to the point of getting jumped, right? So like, clearly you were not in the right place. I was safe and stuff like that, right?
But even what made no sense to me is like the topic is so childish. Like, why are we talking about getting jumped?
So there's no stripes.
And by the way, this is what because you said earlier you're not going to define what a real man is. To me, a real man is someone who, like you just mentioned, provide for his family.
That's it. Yeah.
Someone who,
Which you're both doing.
what you're both doing. But
both
the
doing.
fact that you're talking about a real man is someone who takes the beating. First of all, I'll be honest with you. If me and you are walking down the street and some man's like, I don't care how old you are, I'm aware I'm strong, but you can have a weapon on you.
Of course.
I'm not taking no beating, bro. I'm running. Like if someone calls me like a derogatory term,
Of course.
and for example, like I don't know, in one of the worst areas in Toronto, yeah, bro, I'm gonna shut up and walk away. Because the thing is, they know what they want you to respond.
Of course.
These guys want you to respond.
And guess what? If you're like, hey, let me take the Dame Dash approach, and you don't come back alive, then guess what? You just was a noble death. Like you're gonna come and celebrate my honor. Like
Because you don't have bodyguards. Because a lot of these guys, by the way, they get away with stuff because they have bodyguards. Like all these big celebrities or like streamers, they have these bodyguards.
Like you're trying to say, I did it, or trying to get home safe.
So like, we have friends like that who, even in the past, who I grew up with, who people just care more about the moment than they do about this longevity of their life.
Of course.
Like, oh, I need to make sure that person knows that I'm the last word. Why does it matter? Like in reality, why does it matter? If you're having a debate and you silence them speaking about whatever the subject is and you're articulate with it, great, boom. But to go start threatening, it's like, I'm going to threaten your family, I'm going to threaten this,
of course.
you're getting jumped. So childish. I swear I thought I was watching a high school interview. It's as if I'm like they're interviewing a 15-year-old kid and this man's talking about, yo, this guy ran away from 4 mans. What are you going to do, bro? Like, I'm not going to take a beating.
Hey man, I'm not Bruce Lee, I'm not Ip Man, like
But I'm not John Jones.
I'm not John Jones, yeah.
I'm not Habib, I'm not Islam.
There's very few people that can feel comfortable
even if they get beat.
with 20 people in front of them. Like if you have the skills of Mighty Mouse,
Yeah.
obviously I don't care if it's 5 guys, because you have
Because you know how to fight.
you know how to fight at such a level.
Because you know out of the 5 guys, maybe one probably knows how to fight.
But they can't even the way Mighty Mouse moves and breaks everything
No.
down, like I'm comfortable. I'm
But
relaxed.
it's even to the point
John
where,
Jones, I'm relaxed.
yeah, bro.
You're not doing
DC,
anything.
I'm relaxed.
DC, you're relaxed. Ilya Taporia.
I'm relaxed.
He's like what, 5'4"?
Yeah.
I'm not running up on Ilya Taporia if I always sleep with 10 guys. Like, meanwhile, guys, like, why on earth? First person's going to sleep. You're going to sleep. Second guy, your shin broke. Like, oh.
No, first of all, shout out to Ilya Taporia for standing up for Palestine. But I was gonna say, yeah, in my head, I'm like, brother, like, if you know, for example, if I'm Brock Lesnar, if I'm
Brock Lesnar. Who wants to run up on Brock Lesnar?
no, bro, this guy's 6'4" or 6'3". how
Border
he is.
Viking. This guy's like, I don't like people.
He is-
That's enough.
That's enough.
If I saw Brock Lesnar, I'm not gonna ask for a picture
Because the thing is,
or an autograph.
no, if I see him, I'm just saying hi from far away.
This guy's like, I don't like people.
I don't like people. Don't come near me.
That's all I need to know.
Don't touch me. But I feel like these are conversations you would have in high school. Like, you know, for example, in high
Exactly,
school, it's hyperbolized. Man, I could take 2 people at one time. First of all, UFC fighter
Yeah.
is not gonna be dumb enough to like be in a street fight, because street fight everything goes. They can get a brick and knock
And
you
they
out.
get a break. Pounds. There's no break.
There's no break in street fight, because the thing is too is you don't also know in a street fight they can bash your head into
Anything goes.
because anything goes. But these guys also the thing is, because I remember DC was having a conversation with someone about Bradley Martin, because Bradley Martin always asks
Oh,
people
yeah. It's just a perfect
about
example. Perfect example.
yeah, he was always asking people about
Perfect
how much do you
example.
weigh. But even DC, I'm not sure who he was fighting. He was asking. The guy was asking. I think they did like play. I guess not play, but just play fight.
Brad Martin example. He's
And he
throwing
was-
every fight in his face.
I think they were asking him, is it do I have space or is it in a cage? The guy that gets in the cage, like, bro, I'm taking him down in like less than 2 minutes. But he's like, if he has space like in a there's no confines where like he's blocked in, yeah, he has a chance. But the thing is, Bradley Martin keeps asking these questions like, brother, I don't care if you're 260 or 250. You don't have fighting experience.
Exactly.
And the smallest guy, Ilya Taporia,
Yeah.
can take you down.
Easy.
And this guy was going Devin Haney. I'm like, brother,
This guy's a boxer, bro.
like.
His chin is tested since he was like
Because-
14 years old.
Yeah, even Nate Diaz told him, like, listen, you have to really get a hold of him.
Exactly, yeah.
But you're not, because he knows how to take a punch.
He knows how to take a punch.
And then he was saying, well, he's like, I've taken a punch too. I'm like, yeah, but you've taken punches by regular people, not like
we
actual-
haven't taken what in a fight. I'm just saying like a minimum. I'm just saying we haven't taken like at least 60 punches to the face.
No.
Within what a 40-minute exhibition.
No.
Every 3 months.
Absolutely not.
We haven't done that for the past 15 years.
Absolutely not.
So there's no way we can expect it. Like, hey, I could go fight, beat up Devin Haney, even though he's way skinnier than me. Like, that is not happening.
We live in an
Stop
era where
social media.
we live in an era, bro, where like people think, oh, I'm stronger than you, congratulations, or I'm taller than you, congratulations. And we spoke about this privately. The people who are listening, this is mainly to the younger generation. Genuinely, if you're still listening, I don't know how long we'll be recording for, but we'll probably end it soon. Because I want to say one last thing. There is no hype about you being strong.
Of course.
Because my thing is like, you're strong by just avoiding the fight. Some people, you don't know how strong some people are. You actually do not know. People who we thought in our high school were strong, bro, they got their like, they got beat.
Of course.
Remember one, I'm not gonna mention his name, I remember one specific guy, you know who he is. It was someone 2 years younger than us. Oh, black eye. Because you think because you're older. I remember. Do you remember? Yeah, I'm not going to mention his name. He definitely isn't watching either. But my thing is, no, I'm not, again, shout out that guy. No, I'm not mentioning, like, I'm just saying, like.
We're not laughing. We're just laughing at the memory.
At the memory,
In
yeah.
high school,
It was
such a big thing, but everyone's still thinking, why are you doing this? Like, this is
Yeah.
not a smart idea.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
know how it's going to end. And obviously, it ended how. He's lucky that that's how it only ended.
100%. because
Both eyes could have been shut.
But
bro.
even his other friend,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
he fought someone else from our year, and the way he got flipped over, the thing is, the nicest people seem to be the strongest, because the thing is, people who are nice hold their anger so much because they're always patient and they're silent.
Yeah.
So now you're picking on me, and you're just always on a bad day.
Of course.
It's like now at this point, and there's like, you cross the line. But my thing to you, people who are listening, I only fight if God forbid you are in danger. Like
course.
if
That makes sense.
it's a one-on-one thing.
That makes sense. If you're in
Like
danger.
again, we've done it when that
Yeah.
guy was harassing the girls with the cars with the girls. We came in defense. I got
course.
injured out of it.
Of course.
But my thing is, there's no benefit in fighting. Because again, there's so many cameras now, someone's filming. Two, it's like, if someone catches a moment of you knocking him out, now it's used against you in court. That's all they see.
And now that's being replayed over and over
Replayed
again.
over and over.
So that person who got knocked out, his friends and his family, wants payback. And not only payback, on camera.
100%.
Worse. So
Yeah,
they want you to
because-
sleep.
Back in our day, like,
No, back then you were able to have a conversation and amend it. Now people want you to sleep or on camera. Nah, bro.
it's crazy, man.
It's different.
But honestly, I just feel like the whole, like, it's funny because this is probably one of our more relaxed
Oh, yeah, for sure.
topics
For sure.
in a while, by the way.
sure.
In a while.
For sure.
But I feel like you got to see, Again, there's probably some things you guys could take out of it because I feel like if you are gonna ever be in an altercation,
It's going to sleep, bro.
go to sleep. Boom. Yeah, man. I don't even know what to tell you. All I can say is I genuinely laughed. Like, yeah, I can't. Like, guys, let's go watch the
Dame
interview.
Dash is like, F you up to Charlemagne. Charlemagne's like, I'll beat you up right now. Like, let's go. It's like, I'm not scared of you. Like, maybe back then you used to jump people and stuff like that, but I'm not scared of you now.
But
like,
it shows you like genuinely, and I'm being serious. I don't
because
care.
that's 4 versus 30, you can jump. But he's like, right now, he's like, I'll take you. I don't care.
Yeah, because the thing is, people are delusional. They think because fighting has a skill to it. He's so delusional. He thinks because he's back in his prime. You're 50 years old.
Yeah, you're 50 years old.
Charlemagne, I think, is a little bit younger than him.
Yeah, way younger. Way younger.
Two, you are you already lost the fight when someone's already in your head.
Of course.
Forget how strong you are.
Yeah.
Fighting is also psychological. Like look at Habib and Conor McGregor. Habib didn't say a single word throughout the whole press conference. Not one word.
I'm going to smash your boy.
And then where he do his topic?
Let's talk now.
Let's talk now. He was on the floor. Let's talk now. It shows you that, listen, man, don't mess with good people. Listen, Mo said something earlier. Go get, because he was talking about how Dame Dash is making fun of people who are not bosses, right?
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs. Listen.
Just the everyday person.
Exactly, everyday person. So whether you want to go to school, university, college, you don't want to go to school, you want to go into trades, you want to open your own business, don't let anybody tell you.
If you don't have a podcast, you're a loser. Like,
And there's a point to that, because in my head I'm like, don't get into these heedless antics of conversation that take you nowhere.
you don't have a gimbal, you're not doing anything with your life. Like, it's just,
You don't have a camera or microphone, you're not doing anything with your life.
now he's like, Anchor, you're worthless. Like,
That's crazy. Yeah, man. Guys, you're welcome. You got to see a bit of our personalities.
it's wild, man.
It is wild.